Welcome. Today, we're diving into the basics of natural language processing. We'll explore how computers understand and work with human language, the foundation behind everything from chatbots to voice assistants. Let's get started and see what makes this field so exciting and powerful. Natural language processing, or NLP, sits at the crossroads of computer science and linguistics. It's what lets machines understand and work with human language, not just reading words, but grasping meaning, picking out details, translating between languages, answering questions, and even summarizing or generating text. We encounter NLP every day, often without realizing it. It's behind tools like ChatGPT, email suggestions, virtual assistants like Siri, and even travel booking agents. It also powers customer service chats, spam filters, and personalized news feeds. NLP quietly shapes how we interact with technology. NLP, or natural language processing, has a history stretching back to the 1950s. That's when researchers first started using computers to understand human language. Early efforts included the famous Turing test and some of the first machine translation attempts, though these were pretty limited and relied on simple patterns. Over the next few decades, from the 60s to the 80s, NLP grew through rule-based systems designed for tasks like conversations and diagnostics. Then, in the 90s and early 2000s, statistical methods took over, fueled by the explosion of web data. Since about 2009, deep learning and neural networks have transformed NLP, powering tools like modern translators and text generators, including ChatGPT. Let's start by looking at two key types of data, structured and unstructured. Structured data is neat and tidy, think spreadsheets or databases, where everything fits into fixed fields. It's easy for computers to handle, but it can feel a bit rigid and formulaic. On the other hand, unstructured data is how we naturally speak and write. It's richer, more detailed, but trickier for AI to understand on its own. That's where tools like retrieval-augmented generation come in, helping AI connect the dots between business data and language models. This makes AI responses more accurate, useful, and conversational. Natural language processing breaks down into two main parts, understanding and generation. Natural language understanding, or NLU, takes messy, unstructured language and turns it into clear, structured data that AI can actually make sense of. On the flip side, natural language generation, or NLG, takes that structured data and transforms it back into natural, human-like text or speech. This is how AI assistants respond in ways that feel real and even generate code. Older systems leaned heavily on explicit rules and linguistic structures, but today, deep learning and neural networks handle everything end-to-end. This shift makes language processing faster, smarter, and more aware of context. Let's break down two key parts of language technology, natural language understanding, or NLU, and natural language generation, or NLG. NLU's job is to make sense of what we say or write. It's about understanding meaning, intent, and context. On the other hand, NLG takes structured data or prompts and turns them into natural, human-like language. It's the creative side, producing text or speech. Think of NLU as reading and comprehending, while NLG is writing and speaking. Together, they power the conversation in chatbots and beyond. Natural language is tricky for technology because it's not just about words. It's about meaning, context, relationships, and intent. Humans handle ambiguity, accents, and even mistakes with ease. But AI has to learn all of this, the nuances, the unclear pronunciation, the dialects. To do that, it needs to understand key elements like vocabulary, grammar, and syntax. It also needs to grasp semantics, pragmatics, discourse, phonetics, and morphology. These are the building blocks that help machines make sense of how we really communicate. Parsing is how we break down text or speech into smaller pieces, so AI can make sense of it. Natural language processing, or NLP, uses a mix of techniques, large language models, machine learning, deep learning, and more. When we talk about syntactic parsing, we're focusing on sentence structure. This involves several key steps, splitting text into chunks or sentences, breaking sentences into words, reducing words to their roots, and labeling each word's role, like noun or verb. We also identify names of people, places, and dates. This is how AI reads language. Semantic parsing is what helps AI go beyond just the structure of language. It starts to grasp meaning, emotion, and intent. It picks up on the subtle, softer parts of how we communicate, the things that make language truly human. Some common techniques include sentiment analysis, which reads feelings as positive, negative, or neutral. Then there's intent analysis, figuring out what the user really wants. And context analysis, which looks at surrounding information to get the meaning just right. Together with syntactic parsing, these tools help AI respond more naturally in chatbots, virtual assistants, translation, and customer support. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time and attention. I hope this has sparked some new ideas and perspectives. Let's keep the conversation going and continue exploring these possibilities together. Until next time, take care and stay curious.